everybody. This is Jennifer.
And this is Jasmine.
And we want to welcome you to the first episode of the How's Your Wealth Show. Yes, we are so excited to actually have you joining us and to share this amazing content that we have been working on for quite some time. We are going to be sharing information relating to real estate and wealth building and pretty much everything in between. So what we wanted to do on this first episode was introduce ourselves, share a little bit about our personal journeys, and just give you a little bit more information about how our podcast is going to work and all that good stuff. So I'll go ahead and get started. That's okay.
Yeah, you go first, Jen.
Okay. So again, my name is Jennifer Carroll. I'm actually known online or also known as the First Lady of Mortgages. So yes, I am a strategic mortgage loan advisor. I also assist with business funding, specific to working with real estate investors. And I also am I do tax planning and tax strategy with a specialization working with the real estate community. But just a little bit about my journey. I am originally from Los Angeles. I'm here in Atlanta. I've been here for longer than I imagined. It's been some time. But prior to moving here to Atlanta, I was in the real estate and mortgage industry. I was actually a real estate agent and a mortgage broker for almost 10 years. So right when the real estate market was really good, specifically in California, I was in it and it was fantastic. So during that time, I made a lot of money. Life was good. I'm thinking that, I'm on top of the world. But on the opposite end, I was also working super long hours, overly stressed, and, it was a lot going on with that. However, with that journey of, doing well financially, I was, just making unwise financial decisions. I was, the checks came in, I'm like, I'm spending on this, I'm spending on that, I'm buying stuff that I shouldn't be buying. I actually hired a financial planner to really help me strategize and get on track, and I wasn't listening to her. Bought properties without telling her, all kinds of just silly stuff. And, my mindset at the time was that, hey, I'm doing great. The market is great. This money is just going to flow forever. It's going to flow like this forever. Little did I know that the real estate market was going to crash dramatically. And when it did, my income came crashing down with it. So I had like a serious reality check. Within a couple months, I was, I had depleted most of my savings. I had a very high overhead at the time and, had to make some very quick, serious decisions, about my money. So I ended up moving here to Atlanta and ended up getting out of the whole real estate industry. And, just was trying to recoup and trying to, restructure and reorganize, figure out, what moves that I wanted to make and what I wanted to do. At the time, I ended up starting a business helping people get their credit back on track. So did that for a number of years. And now just, got back into doing mortgages and, helping people with funding and tax strategy and all of that. But that journey was... I think something that's kind of familiar to a lot of people, definitely after the real estate market crashed, and taught me some really big lessons. But anyway, I won't belabor that. Jasmine, tell us more about your story and your journey.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Jen. And I would say our stories are quite similar. Just both of us being entrepreneurs and having the peaks and valleys of entrepreneurship. A little bit about my background. I'm originally from the Bahamas. I moved to the States when I was a little girl, lived the military life for about 20 years. My parents retired in Atlanta, Georgia, and I followed them there. I lived in Georgia for 25 years. My path was a little different entering into real estate. I always had a love for interior design. So that's kind of where I started. I went to school for that, and then I tried to start up a firm. But it too failed because of the crash in '08 and '09. So I kind of had to revamp. I knew that I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I didn't want to work for anyone else besides myself. So I kind of landed into childcare. I built a successful after-school program, did that for about a decade, 10 years or so. And little did I know about COVID, so just kind of the same history. You're making good money. You're always thinking it's going to be there. I made some poor decisions. I also got poor advice, counsel from others. And it did come at a cost, a financial cost. So after COVID, I decided to move to Florida to help my family start up a business, a detailing business. I love startup. So that's kind of one of my passions. And then I also dabble in short-term rental co-hosting. I co-host a few properties in Atlanta as well. And I am now back in real estate as an investor and an agent. So I'm very excited about sharing my journey and the things that I learned. And I'm glad that we're creating a platform where people can come together and kind of share their experiences, because what they say is you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and if you can learn from some of my mistakes or some of Jen's mistakes and come away a stronger and better entrepreneur / investor, we have succeeded at what we want to do. Yeah.
Definitely, 100%.
Right? Yes.
So Jasmine, what would you say is, one of some of the thoughts that you had about why you wanted to start a podcast?
So It really kind of circles back to what I was just saying about, I think knowledge is power. I think the more information, a lot of times people are afraid to step out on their dreams because of lack of knowledge, or even just the support to do it. So I hope that we can create an environment where people or entrepreneurs or investors or just everyday people feel motivated and encouraged to pursue their dreams. And, I definitely believe home ownership is a key part to wealth. So we definitely want to talk about that. And also just some strategies on building wealth and money strategies, because there's an old saying, it's not what you make, but it's what you spend. So we definitely want to try to give you all ideas on how to keep your money, just to keep your money and to reinvest it to where it can grow for you, where your money can work for you. So
Definitely 100%. I totally agree. For me, I've been wanting to start a podcast and a platform. Number one, I do love meeting interesting people. I love talking to interesting people that have, been success or are having success.
Yes.
In whatever they're doing. And one of the things I think is pretty cool about that is that I think sometimes on the entrepreneurship journey, it can be lonely sometimes. And then at the same time, a lot of times people think like, oh, I had this venture and it failed, or it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. And we can get down on ourselves and think that, something's wrong with me. I'm not good enough. All these different conversations. Mm-hmm. And then when you have these talks with people that have reached a certain level, you recognize like everybody has gone through some form of, what we would label as a failure. And, it really is something I think that can shift, help shift our, collective mindsets, is that, it's not about, these things that we experience are not really failures. They're lessons.
Yes.
Now you know what doesn't work.
Yes.
Now you know what those missing gaps are, and now we can make a different decision. Mm-hmm. So I think that is really something that I wanted to do with this podcast is, bring in, experts, people that have had success in various areas of wealth building, real estate, and, all these different areas, and have them share, their, not only, their successes, but their journey. Mm-hmm. And what that's looked like and the lessons learned along that path. I think that is extremely, extremely valuable.
It's so important. I think if you talk to entrepreneurs, you will realize that they had many business ideas. You know that they had a lot of. I know I did personally. I had at least 3 or 4 business attempts that I tried to start up, and they failed before I got to one that was fruitful. And so, just as you were saying, like collaborating with others, there's strength in numbers, and just getting, it's called a comeback, not a failure, but an experience, and just picking yourself back up and learning from those things. So I hope that this
Definitely.
platform is a place that we can share all of that, and as well as we can give value to you all through our guests and our topics and our conversations. So I think great things are going to
Definitely.
come through this
Definitely.
podcast. Yes.
What we want to do, in addition to just providing, information on wealth building and real estate, is help people really understand. When we start talking about wealth, I think sometimes people get like intimidated by that. Like, I don't think I can be wealthy, or, I'm not trying to be, all these different conversations that people may have. Like, it may sound intimidating.
Yes.
But wealth is really about being, having freedom
Yeah.
and being able to do what you want to do with the people you want to do it with.
Mm-hmm.
So, that doesn't necessarily mean, you have to be a gajillionaire. That could be, just being able to, if you're working a full-time job now, being able to replace that income, so that you can spend more time with your family, or travel more,
Yep.
or do what you really enjoy. So we want to show you different avenues that can help you create that. We do have a special focus on real estate, but there's so many different ways that can, take shape. And I love, Jasmine, that you're involved with short-term rentals, because that's literally like one of the hottest things right now. Like, people are really, really making a killing in the short-term rental space.
They are.
What made you want to get into short-term rentals?
So I would say my background really is hospitality/service. Every business that I've kind of started has been a service-based business. So childcare service-based. I was a bartender for many years. So I just love creating experiences for people. And then, like you said, short-term rentals has it's been the topic. It's been a hot button conversation. And I know that income or rental income is great for wealth building, or it's like one of those pillars of wealth building. So I always had an interest in trying to figure out how can I get into that market. And so when STRs came about, I just began to study it and enjoy it. And then I was fortunate enough to partner up with some investors who were also interested, and we've been working at it and been making great strides. So we're going to
That's
definitely
so
be talking
awesome.
more about short-term rentals for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
As you were talking, I was just thinking about how different the world is from when the big crash happened in 2008.
Yeah.
We're in the midst of, a recession. People aren't really, the media is not labeling it that. They're saying we're on the verge of a recession, but if you talk to most people,
We are.
when they go to the gas pump or to the grocery store, they're like, it's a recession.
Or paying that
everything,
rent, mortgage.
or paying that rent. Yeah, exactly. Everything has gone up significantly. What I have read is that, like, on average, things, rent for a lot of people has gone up on average about 10% over last year. And so when you think about that, and all the people that are not positioned for home ownership, or not thinking about home ownership, or don't think that they can create that for themselves, there's a tremendous gap there, because rent is going to continue to go up, and if people are not positioning themselves to move in that direction, they're really going to have some serious financial consequences. So definitely, I'm excited about this platform and what we're creating, and just being able to, share all this good information, and, come up with strategies and solutions for people to, wherever you are, wherever you land on that spectrum, we are going to have guests and information to share with you that's going to help empower you to move to that next level. So So
I think it's important too for
definitely.
us to just mention that a big part of this is mindset. You know, we are talking about people that may be in different parts of their journey. You know, some of you all may already have investment properties, or some of you all may participate in stocks or cryptocurrency. And then there may be many of you who are just trying to figure out where you want to get in. But usually it's what's between our two ears that kind of prevent us from progressing. So I just want to say that we want to be here to encourage and to help with the mindset, knowing that you don't have to know everything to move forward. When you don't know everything, you have to find people who know things. And that is what we hope that we can bring to you all through our guests and through our conversations, is just motivation, encouragement, and then tools and other people in the profession that can help you succeed and fulfill your dreams, and to get that freedom that you talked about, Jen, because we all want to be free. We want to be free in our minds, financially, our schedules, you know, and our health. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think that your How's Your Wealth podcast is going to be a great place to be. So, and we'll be doing this weekly,
Definitely.
right? We'll be releasing new episodes weekly. So please stay tuned. You can also follow us on our social media platforms. You can find me on Instagram at new_Providence_group. And you can find me on Facebook at Jasmine Robinson. And that's currently where I'm at now. That will be expanding. And where can they find you, Jen?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram at the first, and that's all spelled out, Lady of Mortgages. And on Facebook, you can find me under my name, Jennifer Diaz and David Carroll, with 2 R's and 2 L's. You can also find me on my website and find out more about, you know, some of the services I offer at thefirstladyofmortgages.com. So definitely hope you connect with us on social media, and definitely make sure to go to thehowsyourwealthshow.com to get connected to our YouTube channel, so you can follow us directly on there, as well as all of the podcast networks. So I'm just excited. I think we've got like something really powerful here. And what I want to say is this. I think, you know, we're in a time where really there are so many different opportunities for wealth creation, for entrepreneurship, for innovation. If you are watching this, that says a lot about you. That means that you are somebody that is open and searching for answers, and you want to, you know, make that difference and take not only your life to another level, but also, you know, change the financial legacy for your, you know, for your family
and your community,
and you know,
your communities,
and your communities, definitely. So we're just excited to be able to, you know, have this platform to, you know, share this information, and as they say, seek and ye shall find. So you have found, you have found your platform, your solution of, you know, how you can actually achieve these things. So,
but before we go, we always, we were talking earlier about celebrating the small things. And so I just want us to take a moment, Jennifer and I, to celebrate this first episode. You know, we met through Messenger, and we clicked, and we decided that we had this in common, and that we were going to encourage each other and hold each other accountable, because accountability is great. So I just want to celebrate that we made it, Jen. Hey, we did it.
Yes, we did. Yes,
First
we did.
episode down.
And we've got this amazing new platform, and we're definitely looking forward to sharing and growing and taking things to the next level.
So please tell a friend,
Very
guys, and invite your friends and family. Tell them about our podcast. You know, we grow, you grow, we all grow. I don't know if that sounds good or not, but that's the truth. So
100%, 100%. Well, we look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Again, check us out. We're going to be posting new episodes weekly, and we definitely look forward to seeing you very soon.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.